Welcome to BEYA TV, Becoming Everything You Are, and I'm your host, Marcia Hughes. During the Black Engineer of the Year Awards Conference, I've assisted participants in unearthing their stellar achievements in STEM excellence with the goal of revealing their career and advancing brilliance of STEM essence. BEYA STEM Conference is the place where trailblazing STEM professionals turn their STEM story into STEM stardom. And now, please welcome our next guest.
Hello, everyone. My name is Timothy Snipes. I'm a staff scientist and engineer, and I work at Booz Allen Hamilton Global Defense Sector. A little something about myself: I'm an avid martial artist and golfer.
Welcome. We are so excited that we're here with Timothy. So you are a cyber engineer and scientist. Talk to us about that position.
Oh, yeah. I love it, for one. It's something that I've really been doing this type of stuff since I was a kid, since I was like 12.
Wait a minute. What were you doing at 12 years old?
I was hacking into stuff I shouldn't have been hacking into.
You on the computer?
Yes. And now I really just started getting paid for it. So really that's what it is. So, but I'm also a coder, and they kind of go hand in hand. So I do code, I do cybersecurity type of stuff. And it's something that I'm just passionate about. I like to explore things and find out how things work. That's why I became an engineer. So it just fit my personality type. So that's really how I got it.
So when you talk about the things that you're building or dissecting, what types of products, unless it's something that's classified, and we do understand classified, that it needs to be protected.
Oh, if it was classified, I wouldn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
Really all types of infrastructures, computer systems, mobile networks. There's so many, like, people don't realize how many of your devices and computers and all this stuff is connected on the internet and stuff. What I do is I like to get into them to see where they're vulnerable so that they can be fixed.
Okay. So, but how can you tell when it's vulnerable?
When the Treasury Department gets hit and hackers steal millions of accounts, you're vulnerable at that point. And the rate of attacks and leaks have been rising over the last probably decade and a half, to the point where it used to be major attacks would happen like rarely, once a year maybe, if that. Now we're at the point where we're going into maybe once, 2 times a month, a major attack is happening. And it's getting to the point where it's very serious. So people like me with the skill sets, we're kind of on the front lines of this, right? Because it's a lot of stuff is, it's costing a lot of money.
Yes, billions of dollars. People don't want to look at those numbers. They don't think they're real, but they are.
Exactly.
Well, in looking at that, when you were a little boy to today now, what's different in how you thought you'd see yourself in the future to where you are now?
That's so funny that you say that. I knew I was going to be working in this type of field.
Really?
Yeah, you can ask my parents who, they work hard to raise me, middle class. Dad was in the military. Mom worked at like a bank and stuff. But I was always getting into computers, breaking stuff. The first inquisitive. Just we got our first computer. I think I was like 5 or 6. And I don't know what what command line is. But
I don't know. Don't ask me about that.
But I was so scared the first time I got into it. I thought I broke it. I was going to get in trouble. But it's just, from my background, I went into the military, and that kind of gave me the structure. And also I got to see a lot of threats in real time. So that really had a really big impact on my life going forward, and that's why I didn't know I was going to be working with DOD and stuff.
Okay.
But that's just something that came naturally to me because I've always been around military people. I went to the military myself, so it was just a perfect fit for me. Being a little kid, it's just always been a perfect fit for me just to like do this type of work.
And you're comfortable in your skin, quote unquote, right? It's something that really attracted you. So as a little boy growing up and seeing just playing with things, that's where how you became so inquisitive, because it was something that you wanted to dissect and learn more about it.
Yes.
What do you say to young people and parents in how to give their children the opportunity to see themselves somewhere else 20 years from now?
Dream big, man. Dream big.
I like that.
Don't be afraid to fail. If I told you how many times I failed, you'd be like, wow, how'd you get to, like, don't be afraid to fail. Be inquisitive. Get your kids started early. A lot of times, in our community, we like to get them in sports and everything, which is great. Get them in sports, but also get them into coding, too. Get them into coding. Get them into hacking. See what they want to do, because the field is so big and growing that there's really no stop to what you're going to do. As long as you're interested in it, like, that was always my thing. I didn't want to do something that I wasn't going to be interested in for work.
Right.
Because I know how that is. I mean, we've all had jobs. It's like, oh.
Yeah, do I really want to do this?
But you got to get up. You got to pay the bills. Right? But do something that you'll have a passion for.
Yes.
Like, I would do this for free. I really would. And that's what I would tell, especially younger people. If you wouldn't do it for free, then it's probably not going to be something you're going to want to do.
That's exactly right, because then it's too much. Give us 3 things that you would say to young kids in high school now. 3 things for them to look at.
Okay. 1, keep your mind in them books. Ain't nothing in them streets. 2, stay focused on your goals. Okay? Please, stay focused, because you're in high school right now, it's gonna change, like, when you get older. High school is like 4 years. And 3, follow your dreams. Never stop following your dreams. Like, don't let people tell you can't do anything. So many people tell me, I wouldn't do nothing, even though, like, I'm not that type of person, but still, people would tell you, don't do nothing, you gotta do what you wanna do, you can't do what other people tell you to do, you gotta do what you wanna do. And I had a 4th one, try to help people as much.
So do you volunteer?
Yes.
And tell us about your volunteer experience.
So I got a lot of volunteer experience. And volunteering started for me in the military. Honestly, I started volunteering in the military because I had to, just because it was like, well, you gotta do something, right? Right now, I have a fund, a local equity fund for my job. My job has a local equity fund, but I'm the fund manager for a nonprofit. Shout out to a community group, but they're getting young kids into esports, right? So esports is like competitive video games. These kids are like doing well. They're making money, starting up businesses. They're actively competing against some of the best gamers all around the world. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I love it.
It's crazy. So that's one thing. Another thing I used to do was I would always volunteer at the pet gym.
Okay.
That was so much fun. That was back when I was in Florida, because it was always like there's always new dogs. Especially, I was a dog specialist. Always new dogs coming.
Dog as in D-O-G?
D-O-G.
What are you doing with dogs?
Man, you gotta go feed them, you gotta go play with them, you gotta introduce, when people come in, they're like, oh, we gotta see the dog, you gotta tell them about the dog, and you just go, like, it's, every week there's new dogs, so it's like, the Humane Society. So, that's one thing, but even all through college, I volunteered, just being a different veterans group, getting into the politics of like student government and all that stuff. Like, I'm always looking for new volunteer opportunities. So, I mean, I think as a real well-rounded individual, you got to give back. So that's my personal.
That's wonderful. And I think that giving back and being mentors is huge. And young people need something other that's in their confined world. And it takes mentors.
Yes.
You know, I was saying earlier, I had 3 that I wouldn't be where I am today had I not paid attention to them.
I still got a few.
Oh, I still got them.
Yeah.
And I'm old. I'm almost 80.
You're not old.
I'm 72.
You live it. You live it.
And it's critical, though. At this age, I'm still with with folks that I know have gotten me to different places that I didn't even consider or even know about, let alone consider. So that's huge.
Yeah, mentors. I have probably 2 mentors right now. And, you know, don't be afraid also, big thing, don't be afraid to get outside your comfort zone on mentors.
Right.
Like, they don't necessarily have to be, you know, black. Like, just
That's
honestly,
right.
because that network is pivotal. And your network is going to make you or break you. And you are your circle, as they say. So I would say, you know, don't be afraid to have a mentor, and for us who are already out there, don't be afraid to take someone under your wing.
That's exactly.
Some people become like my mentees or proteges without like me even asking. I'm like, wait, what? Okay.
But it's huge and it's necessary.
It is.
Thank you so much and
Thank you so much,
congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
See you.